Hello and welcome to the Discover Virginia Beach podcast. I'm your host, Joseph Trahan, your tour guide to the Virginia Beach area. If this is your first time listening, I am so glad you found this show. Each week, I publish a new interview with locals ranging from musicians, government officials, CEOs, artists, and much more. And my aim is simple. It's to help you discover, define, and then go out and do exactly what you're looking for during your next vacation, relocation, or outing to the Virginia Beach area. And if you're looking to join in on the conversation, take part in monthly giveaways, and get your hands on my custom event calendars, head on over to Facebook and send me a friend request. That's Joseph Trahan. And check out my Facebook group of nearly 50,000 fans of the Virginia Beach area. Don't worry about writing anything down. The links for each episode, along with the Facebook groups, will be in the description below and also in the show notes. All right, here's the show. Alrighty, and welcome to our latest episode where we delve into the magical world of Ashley Branton, the visionary owner behind Norfolk's enchanting boutique Velvet Witch. A revered psychic medium and professional witch, Ashley has woven her unique blend of spirituality and community support into the fabric of Virginia Beach, championing causes close to our heart like LGBTQ Life Center. If you don't catch her at the shop, you might find her singing a few tunes over at Gershwin's. Ashley, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we are super excited. And continuing on with the theme of season 2 of Discover Virginia Beach, we're discovering everything the area has to offer. And it would be, it would just make sense to be able to have a professional witch on the show to really highlight and encompass that world. But before we get into the witchcraft world, I'd love to kind of chat with you about what brought you to the Virginia Beach area and the Norfolk area, and what got you to stick around and build your life and your business here.
Absolutely. Well, I'm from here. I was born and raised in Norfolk. I lived over by the airport. And then when I was a horse girl. So in middle school, my parents moved out to Suffolk. I grew up the rest of my life out there and then came back to Norfolk in 2012. And I was working as a professional makeup artist, which was my career before I started my shop. And I had kind of this whole spiritual awakening, this epiphany. And I decided to open my business after a trip to Salem. And of course, Norfolk being my hometown, I knew it had to be in Norfolk. And it was cool. It worked out right in the middle of the timing of me wanting to open my store was when the Selden Market program started in downtown Norfolk, which is where I began. Cool. Yeah. So It worked out as far as space and everything. So it was really cool. And then, of course, right before shutdown, I had no idea. I mean, who did that it was coming? I moved to the Ghent location that I am still currently residing in. So, yeah.
Love it. Love it. Ashley, thank you for sharing that. And of course, thanks for sharing your hometown some love by continuing to grow and expand here. And speaking of expansion, I mean, it sounds like you had pretty pivotal moment in your spiritual journey. Would you mind walking us through, as intimate as you want to go, what was that process like of the spiritual awakening for you, and what led you to, this realm of, sorcery and witchcraft and something that is somewhat taboo in our current world that we live in?
Absolutely. Well, I grew up very Christian. It wasn't an extreme Christian household, but I was very involved in the church. So I've always been in some sort of a spiritual aspect of my life. I left the church in 2001 when my preacher spoke that homosexuality, that gays were going to go to hell. And I am a huge ally and always have been. And from there, I felt a little lost for a very long time. I mean, that was 2001. And again, I started this in 2017. But I've always had mediumship abilities. I've experienced spirits, especially living on the land I did in Suffolk. That's really when I connected and realized that I had these abilities and these gifts, which have run in my family. And it wasn't until, and this is a true story, I picked up a crystal in 2016. One
Okay.
single crystal, I joke that a little green fluorite changed my life. And I felt its vibrations, and I had started meditating around then, and just doing different routines and practices on my own. And when I got that crystal, I swear it changed everything. I started connecting with elements of the earth. I started really changing my mindset about things that I was doing, being positive, and I started healing. And healing is a big part of it. Um, and when I fully came into what I would consider my spiritual awakening, which really aligned with the beginning of the business, it's very tough. You know, you feel alone, you feel crazy, like you said. Some people think it's taboo. And I had to work through a lot of old ways of thinking and old ways of teaching that allowed me to really be free. And what's really cool about being a witch, I have a Witch 101 class tonight that I'm teaching, is that it's really just an empowered person, someone who is authentic, someone who doesn't follow any rules, who follows what they feel is authentic to them and feels right. And I'm just, I like to say that I do what our ancient people did. I follow the sun, I follow the equinoxes, the solstices, and I work with elements of the earth like crystals and herbs. And I do magic in my garden. And, the magic is within us. It's all about our intention and what you're putting out there into the universe. I believe that it all comes back. What you put out is what you get back. And so, but for me, it was also connecting with my psychic and medium abilities, which was very hard and very challenging. I still, that's part of, my journey and my story, is that I struggled really accepting these gifts. But now I understand that it's part of my destiny, if you will, to help heal people and guide people on their path, and to, live their best life. And I do believe that, when people find peace, it spreads. And, it can, even though it may be a slow domino effect, I do believe that it helps heal others when people are finding that peace and that space. So yeah, I hope that kind of explained a little bit of it. But yeah, it was a lot at first, truly. And my store was inspired because, there were typical witch shops here, which are fine. There's nothing wrong with, our OG places that I absolutely love. But I felt like I wanted something that represented me, that was fun and cute and pretty and pastel. And, you walked in and maybe weren't overwhelmed, or scared, or, things feel dark, or whatever the case may be, even though that's not it at all with, older witch shops. But I wanted something that wasn't quite typical. And so, yeah, so that's where it came from.
Wow, Ashley, what a journey. I mean, over those 16 years of, accepting that the faith you weren't following was not
Yeah.
for you, and
Oh
was
no.
not supportive of this. It almost feels like a harmony that you were trying to draw yourself into, a balance, if you will. I mean, that's common with a lot of different faith systems and beliefs. I mean, you want to be connected. It's supposed
Right.
to be peaceful. It's supposed to be understanding of your own desires, both physically and emotionally and spiritually. And it all culminates within how we connect with
Yes.
each other in conversations, and also with the world around us. I'm curious for you, Ashley, and also for the Velvet Witch inside of you that was really kind of bubbling up. What were some of those key moments or key instances where you were like, there's something here within this crystal, within this, if you will, potion or experience that really drew you out to saying, hey, I want to take this journey, not just as a witch, but I also want to bring others alongside of me
Yeah.
into the shop and the workspace?
Well, I felt very alone when I was going through these things. I was experiencing during meditations, I started receiving visions. I saw, in fact, this is true story. In 2018, I had a vision of the space I'm in now. I described it to a T. at the time, the girl I was working with, who was a mentor, I had a meditation where I had a vision of this space, and I went to work and I was like, oh my God, I saw the next space, I'm going to be in. And but I felt very alone at the time. And again, the power I felt from the crystal I was holding and working with really kind of blew my mind, to be honest. And as I was receiving these gifts, I started realizing too that I could tune into people. I've worked with people my whole life. Very closely interactions. I've, retail, all of it, doing makeup. And I always could pick up things from people that they wouldn't tell me, or my intuition was always just on. And the whole key is trusting it. Right. So it was very much, like I said, really kind of working with the crystals. And then I started picking up books and reading. And I realized when I read, again, my trip to Salem was really powerful for me. When I was there, I took a picture of John Proctor's bench. And he was the only one of the memorial benches they have there that I took a picture of. And I came to find out in 2019, I visited Salem in 2016. And I came to find out in 2019, I'm actually directly related to him. He's my sixth great uncle.
Oh, wow.
But in Salem, I was walking by spaces and I was like, this is where they, tortured them. And I was speaking these things that there's no way I would have known. And then we went on, these tours, and my girlfriend that I was with was like, oh my God, you said that last night. Like, you said that when we walked by this building. And so that whole 4-day weekend in Salem in 2016, after I had already kind of started dabbling, and I called myself what we now use the term as a baby witch at the time. I really was I didn't know anything at that point about anything. I was kind of learning, and I picked up some books there. There's one called The Power of the Witch by Lori Cabot. She's the original witch of Salem. And that book really changed my life because she talked about some Christian things and whatnot. And just, again, working with the elements of the earth, and it's all about your mindset and your intention. And so yeah, I would say really, again, that kind of Salem trip. And what's wild is a year to the literal date of me being in Salem, I opened my shop a year later. So
Wow.
I put it in the air, and it happened.
It happened.
Yes.
Wonderful. Well, Ashley, I really appreciate you sharing those intimate details of your story and your journey of something that, many people are unfamiliar with. But of course, we're going to transition into your shop. And of course, the obvious question I should ask is, do you have to be a witch to visit your shop? What about people that aren't witches, or maybe just a little bit curious? Walk us through the average customer experience, the type of customers you work with, and the type of experiences and products and services that folks might be able to expect when they come into your shop.
Sure. So you do not have to be a witch, of course, to come in Velvet Witch. In fact, I would even say I'm very proud of the diverse clientele that I have built, the community really I have built at Velvet Witch. And it's more about, again, yes, I am a witch. My girls that work with me are witches. We consider ourselves witches, but it's more about us being in that empowerment moment. Sorry, my dog's going to walk by. You might hear some feet.
That is okay. We are cool with a guest star.
One of my familiars. He's very famous at the shop. But and so it's really cool. We really do have a very diverse group of people that come in. I proudly display my flag, my pride flag, 24/7. And my whole thing is being welcoming. If you are on any type of journey, regardless of whatever your background is, your spirituality, your religion, whatever, it does not matter. I mean, I have preachers that come in. I have people that, may even, like me years ago, felt lost. They don't align with, the way they were brought up with their religions anymore. And they come in and they just don't know. They're, like you said, they're curious, or they're on a journey of self, and they come to my shop. And that is what I am all about, is allowing people to see that it is okay to be in tune and take risks on yourself, and make decisions that serve you and release things that don't. And so again, I feel like I have a pretty wide array of clientele, a lot of millennials, of course.
Well,
But
that's mostly Norfolk too. I mean,
oh
the
yeah.
average age of a Norfolk resident is 34 to 36 years old.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, my real estate is showing here. But Ashley, I love that. And would you mind sharing some of the specific experiences that folks can, when they come into your shop, if they're looking to maybe dabble or participate in, what types of services do you offer that they can
Yeah.
engage in?
So we do a lot of things at the store. Mainly the services right now are provided by me. So there's a couple of things. We have classes, for example, tonight. Our most popular class is Witch 101. And so we do classes about once a month. My services, though, regularly, I first started, part of my accepting my gift and believing in it, if you will, was working with tarot cards. And I will say, and I will always say this and stand behind it, the cards are never wrong, right? So when I first, again, started having visions and experiencing things, seeing the future and or going backwards. I'd like to joke that I'm a time traveler. I can see different aspects of people's lives and past lives, and or if you want to call it a parallel life, dimension, whatever it may be. I can kind of have this gift of seeing that, which is really cool and wild. Every day I'm like, this is crazy. But anyway, so tarot was a big thing for me. And I still provide tarot readings. We do have walk-in readings on Tuesdays and Sundays. I have guest readers that come in and read. And then my pride and joy work are my crystal healings. This is different than a Reiki session. It is an energy healing, but I have a gift where I can see the energy centers of people's bodies, and I can see anywhere from ailments in their bodies. I can see traumas they're storing. I can see where they're holding pain. It's wild. And I'm really proud of those. All of my services are word of mouth. I don't have any testimonies. I have a whole slew of them, but I don't have any testimonies out there. And so I'm really proud of, again, my healings. I have a lot of return clients. Literally, people that have said I've changed their lives with my healings. We also offer sound baths. As you said, I am a singer. And so sound is a really beautiful modality of healing. And so I offer sound baths. We do community sound baths that are open to everyone once a month. Those are donation based if you are inclined or are able. So we do offer community sound baths, but then we also have that as a service as well. And everything that I provide, including the retail space down to my services, are about the experience. It's not just you come in and listen to the sound bowls and you're leaving. We're diving deep. We're going in. What are you working on? Are you trying to release? Are you manifesting things? What is going on? Where is the energy stored in your body? So it's the experience for me was about everything. Again,
It was like a very intense.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard on me, trust me, but I love it and I will always do it. And so we have a great list of services. And again, we have walk-in readings on Tuesdays and Sundays. And you can also schedule an appointment with me through our website or social media or whatever as well.
Perfect. And all of that will be in the link in the description below for those of you looking to check out all the specific services Ashley has. Ashley, thank you so much for sharing that, highlighting your services. When we look at the overarching impact that we have in the community with our various businesses, how does community play a part in the way in which you conduct and live and just be alive and active here in the community?
Man, it's going to make me cry. I have such a beautiful support through the community. And I'm big on my community. This is my hometown, my city. I mean, even Virginia Beach, I grew up here. And again, my whole goal is to help people and to allow people to see the light within themselves. And so community is a huge role in my life in general. I try to do a lot for the community. One of my big things is like just picking up trash. I'm a big, let me pick up trash when I see it. So I have things going in my head where I'm like, I want to, maybe have some little side organizations that I end up, or projects that I end up doing. But one of the big, parts of my life, again, is being a huge ally for the LGBTQ plus community. They have always been a family to me. I've been, I guess, some sort of beacon for people to come out to. I've had people come out to me in my sessions. I don't know them from before they came in, and they feel comfortable enough to tell
Sure.
me,
Yeah.
about them coming out. And so, again, being a safe space, a safe person for my community is so important. And then, of course, giving back, regardless if it's monetarily or simply with my time, giving back to my community is very, very important to me. So community is like number one, truly.
Wow, I love that, and your passion for it definitely showcases itself here, Ashley. We are so glad to have you in our community and a part of the
You.
conversation to discover everything the Virginia Beach area has to offer. I understand you have a lot of classes going on, so we're definitely going to go ahead and be respectful of your time and
Oh, you're
transition
fine.
to our last section here, rapid fire questions. These
Cool.
questions are a little bit more fun, a little bit more light. They're quick and fast, and you can answer with as much or as little detail as you like. You
Okay.
ready? So, Gershwins.
Yes.
There is this thing I read online that there is a Velvet Witch drink. What's in it? What
I'm
can
gonna
I
tell
drive
you.
after it? What happens when you have a Velvet Witch
I
drink?
will tell you right now. It's funny. I should know it by heart. It's really cool. So I'll tell you really quick. My best friend Charles was the owner of Gershwin's, and he passed last year in January, and it was very, very hard for me. And I have sung there for 6 years. I've been a huge part of the Gershwin's family now, again, for 6 years. And they finally gave me a drink on the menu. And it is the number one drink. It was supposed to be just for the fall, and now it is the number one drink. And they say that people come in that know of my shop and know about this drink, and they come in to try it. It is Chambord, Saint Germain, rosemary, simple, lemon, and prosecco. And so it
Okay.
is delicious.
And I
Um,
heard there's a few other secret ingredients that you can't share here on the podcast. That's totally okay. You just go in and try it for yourself, right?
right. It's a nice little potion for you.
I love it. I love it. So, when it comes to the realm of powers and spirituality and gifts, Ashley, I'm curious for you, and I ask this in a very curious light here. If you could have any power for a day, maybe something that you've had before and you lost, or something that you've always aspired to have, what power would it be and why?
Can it be like fantasy?
It could be fantasy out of the world, however
It
you
would
want to.
absolutely for me be teleporting. I would if I could teleport and go into different times or just simply where I'm trying to be because I'm always on the run.
And Norfolk is not forgiving when it comes to traffic, so it's definitely
Not
more
with
of a
that
walkable
train.
city.
No, that train stopping recently too is really bad. But no, it would definitely be teleporting for sure, which I kind of can do in real life in a way. But truly, if I could do and be somewhere, I would.
I love that. I love that. So in the realm of teleportation, I have my next follow-up question for you. If you could have dinner with any fictional witch or wizard,
Oh,
who would it be and
that's
what would you want to ask them? Let's say
fun.
you can teleport to where it is they are.
Oh man, wow. Man, a fictional witch. I would honestly say Elphaba from Wicked.
Okay.
How inspiring. If I could sit with her, I honestly, I don't know if I would ask her a question. I would talk to her about her journey. Because of course, the theme behind that is deeper than just her being a green witch. But it is, she went on a journey in discovering who she was and stepping into her powers. And again, being authentic. So I would absolutely sit down with her, and I would probably sing a song with her as well.
Love it. Love it.
Yes.
All righty. So when it comes to, you know, spells and rituals, I'm curious for you, Ashley, what's the most unusual ingredient you've used in a spell or ritual?
Wow. I wouldn't say it's unusual, but there is a one of the most powerful, and I think people might be a little frightened of it, but it's nothing to be scared of. Is graveyard dirt. Of course, we want to be respectful if we are getting dirt from a graveyard, but graveyard dirt from an ancestor or something like that. It's very, very, very powerful to work with energy of the earth in general. But working with graveyard dirt has probably been, and it's something I've only used a few times, but it is very, very powerful. And that is probably my big one. That and it's more of a cultural thing, but bluing ink as well. The little ink tablets are little blue ink tablets are kind of a cool ingredient I've used in rituals as well. So,
Wow.
so
Very,
yeah,
very fascinating.
I know, right? I work with cinnamon a
Absolutely.
lot. Cinnamon is like my number one.
Good to know. Good to
Yeah.
know. And last one for you, Ashley. What's your go-to karaoke song when you're not performing professionally over at Gershwin's?
Oh, I love this. Oh man. My go-to when I am not performing would probably be Uninvited by Alanis Morissette. It's one of my absolute favorites.
Love it. That is a classic.
Yes, it is.
That is a classic.
For sure.
Wonderful. Well, Ashley, thank you so much again for the conversation. At this point, we'd love to roll out the virtual red carpet for you. Anything that's going on or any final messages you want to leave the audience with, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Yeah, anyone out there that is, struggling with spirituality or is feeling called to move away from their old ways of teaching or the way they were brought up, you're valid in feeling that way. You're feeling that way for a reason. Again, the magic is within all of us, right? So you don't necessarily need a crystal or things at my shop to do your intention work or your spell work, whatever you want to call it. It's all about your mindset and believing in yourself. Now, granted, candles and crystals absolutely do help the energy, but just know that you are not alone, and we at Velvet Witch are here for you. We have a constant list of events and classes. You can always go to velvetwitch.com and check on our links to see what we have going on. Of course, if you have social media, we are on all platforms, and Google too. I update my Google page all the time. And so we are here for you. We have all been through our own journeys, and that's my goal, is to just help people heal and see their best self and get out there and change the world. So yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Ashley, thank you for sharing that. And thank you to our dedicated listeners for checking us out on another episode of Discover Virginia Beach Podcast. We hope to see you in another episode very soon.
Yes. Thank you, Joe.